Jon Moxley, what's going on? How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Coming at you from Canada, from Toronto, Canada, where you have a ton of fans.
Oh, beautiful. I consider Toronto, somewhat of a second home. My wife is from there. We spent a lot of time up there with her family. We stayed up there a big part of last summer and fall, and we love it up there, man. I love Canada.
Well, good, good. Once this is all over, this pandemic, we'll have to have you guys back, and we'll have a visit in person. How's that sound?
Yeah, I'm not giving any spoilers or anything, but I'm very excited to hopefully bring A.E.W. Dynamite live to Toronto, one of the best wrestling crowds and cities in the world. A city I've had many great moments in there at the Rico Coliseum, and I would love to spearhead bringing AEW live to Toronto. One of my kind of second homes.
Well, we would love to have you here. Listen, I have to ask you something before we get into everything that's coming up. I want to know, John, when did you know that wrestling was your thing? Like when you were a kid, were you obsessed with it? When did you know it was what you wanted to do for your life?
Yeah, as long as I can remember, I can't remember a time when it wasn't like the thing that I liked. And it's just as long as I can remember. And I always had in the back of my mind that like this was something that I thought I could do, that I would have I didn't really know why or how. I just had this kind of implicit feeling in the back of my mind that I would have because I understood it so well because I studied it so obsessively as a kid. Scouring the world for videotapes and recording tapes and watching stuff and reading everything I could possibly read on the subject, and kind of I kind of understood it on a level to where this is before you could read Google things on your phone. I used to have to get the magazines from the store and you know, trade video cassettes and stuff like that. I was always knew I thought I could do it. I just didn't know how to get into it because it was a closed off kind of world. I didn't know, and ended up having an opportunity. I was at a tiny little show at a flea market in Cincinnati, and in the flyer there was an ad for Les Thatcher's main event pro wrestling camp, and it was like a light shown from the gods. I immediately knew that's where I was going, and that was going to be my life.
Amazing, amazing. And then you become like a huge star in the WWE. You have great fans, and then you make this move to the AEW world. What was that like for you? And what is the major difference that you see, maybe between just what you do or between the fans? Is there a major difference?
There's a major difference. The fans are the greatest fans in the world. They're the most passionate fans because the fans are kind of like us, the crew at AEW. Everybody from the wrestlers to the referees to the guys in back. We're all wrestling fanatics, and we all were of the impression the whole genesis of AEW, All Elite Wrestling, is we felt that the way a lot of fans have felt that mainstream wrestling has gotten stale over the years. You always hear of the lapsed fan, meaning like, oh, I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid, or I used to watch it with my dad, and just kind of got stale. I fell out. And we wanted to bring a lot of those fans back and infuse a new energy into mainstream wrestling. And I think that's what we've done, and that's what we plan to do this weekend with Double or Nothing on pay-per-view on Bleacher Report Live. We're pulling out all the stops with the most innovative, exciting athletes in professional wrestling, doing stuff you've never seen before, completely outside of the box stuff. We're doing a casino battle royal ladder match this weekend, which is kind of a Money in the Bank mixed with a Royal Rumble. If you're familiar with those concepts, so that's new and innovative, and you're going to see just daredevils and doing things you never imagined, and you're going to see legends like Chris Jericho. You're going to see guys at the top of their game like myself, Brody Lee, my opponent in the world title match, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, the best tag team in the world, in my opinion, the Young Bucks. You're going to see, guys in their prime, at the top of their game, completely unencumbered by any of the old tropes of pro wrestling. This is new and innovative, and we're doing new things and bringing new energy to professional wrestling. So if you've ever been a fan, if you've ever be even a little bit of a fan, or if you're a fan of sports or entertainment, you're going to want to check out AEW Dynamite every Wednesday live on TNT. Well, you're in Canada, so actually you would, I think, check it out on Fight TV, FITE. But follow All Elite Wrestling on social media, whatever, and you'll find out where you can watch it. It's the hottest show, the most energetic, new, innovative show in wrestling, and we're bringing for here in the States this Memorial Day weekend, and I don't know if it's the same in Canada, but
Yeah, we just had our long weekend, but no, we're still going to be getting it here, and definitely we'll be open to Canadian fans. I have to ask you though, what is it like for you during this pandemic? You can't do this in front of an audience. How does that change you, even mentally? How do you absorb that, Jon?
it's very different. Sometimes I'm just like, man, this sucks. Like because I miss the crowd. No matter how jet lagged you are, how tired, how many cities you've been to that week, how many radio interviews you've done that morning. When you walk through a crowd of 20,000 people, especially when they're going nuts, chanting your name and stuff like that, like that's a shot of adrenaline right to the veins that like you can't experience anywhere else. I'm realizing now how much I miss it. The energy of being in the ring in front of a packed house is like no other drug in the world. With no fans in the building, it's almost like, what are we doing here? But on the other hand, there's still millions of people that need entertainment, around the world, and they're still watching, and you still got to represent yourself and your sport. And there's still cameras are still rolling, babe. It's not like there's no people in the building, so I'm free to pick my nose and scratch my butt. You're still on TV, so it's
Well,
about
we'd still enjoy
uh,
watching that. That'd be funny, anyways.
yeah, it's about kind of internalizing the energy, and kind of focusing your energy and your aggression on your opponent, and you're really getting inside your own head, and just kind of I've been wrestling in front of I've wrestled in front of 50, 60,000 people in a stadium, 20,000 seat arenas, and I've wrestled in front of 15 people in a bar, and at the end of the day, once the bell rings, your world kind of shrinks down to that little 20 by 20 or 15 by 15, whatever it is, ring. And, it's about just kind of embracing, embracing that the world is just you and your opponent, and we're here experiencing this contest together. And that's all that matters. And,
Hmm.
yeah, in some
Yeah,
ways
Jon.
it
Yeah, Jon. Quickly.
helps.
Yeah,
In
sorry.
some ways it
Sorry to
helps you
interrupt, but I've got to. I
focus.
just want to ask you one more question because before we have to wrap up. But I want to ask you about your feature film debut, Cagefighter, Worlds Collide. How cool was that to be in a
Uh,
film and to play this guy, the antagonist?
it was very cool. Uh, it was very fun preparing and training for the role and doing all the fight scenes and fight choreography and doing our own stunts. And just had a premiere last weekend on Fight TV, FITE, the same place you can watch All Elite Wrestling every week. And in Canada where you are, it was an international release, won't be out in the U.S. till the fall. So I don't know exactly when they're going to put it up again, but check it out and keep your eyes peeled for Cagefighter Worlds Collide on Fight TV if you're in Canada. But it got a lot of great positive response because it's just a fun, easy movie to watch with a good message, a good story, and a lot of hard work went into it. And I think it turned out really well, and it's really fun. It's just a fun watch, man. So like if you get a chance to check out Cagefighter Worlds Collide, keep your ear to the ground for it and check it out on Fight TV.
Well, we will. Listen, congratulations on everything. Great having a chance to talk with you this morning. We'll be watching you this weekend. Best of luck to you with the fight. And like I say, you and your wife, we look forward to having you back in Toronto after all this is over. And have a great day, Jon. Great talking to you.
Sure.
Okay, take care. Bye bye.